Good evening. Don't worry, this is just water if you're French. Just kidding. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. Please, I can't go back to retail. Anyways, before we get into the topic, I do want to preface this video with a little bit of an introduction. Hello. Don't worry, I'll put in chapters so that you can skip straight to the meat and potatoes. Anyways, introduction. Hello, I'm Ivy, or Red Rum Narrations. I don't do that anymore. I'm just revamping the channel. That was so stupid. But this time I promise I won't have panic attacks and delete everything like 24 hours after uploading. Don't worry about it. I'm here for it. Yeah. But whatever, I just figured with all the OG YouTubers retiring that there's a job opening and I'm here. I'm as lovable as Markiplier. I'm as stannable, right? Markiplier is retiring, right? You people wouldn't lie on the internet. Who would do that? Not you. You wouldn't lie on the internet. So here I am coming to you with a brand new series involving my one true passion, cryptids. Let me check my notes. I forgot what I'm passionate about. You make me nervous. Cryptids, oddities, strange happenings, and all things creepy, kooky, mysterious, and spooky. I hope MGM doesn't nail me for that one. Anyways, every new video is going to be covering something of that nature from every state in the US, including yours. Yeah, well, you live in a state. It's only gonna be America for now though, because I am not comfortable talking about other countries because I'm not cultured enough. Now I know that cryptids and strange things are very highly covered on YouTube, but I feel like things are getting a little bit stale in this department. You know, like Centralia, fire burning for 50 years, real Silent Hill, and the Mothman, we know him, we love him, of course. We know him, we love the millions of videos about him, okay? But enough is enough. I feel like Mothman has to be getting a big head by now. And God, please, we can only take so many messy knockoffs. Really, Lake Erie? Bessie? That's the best we could do? You're letting me down. You're letting me down. Please, get your own extinct aquatic lizard. Are plesiosaurs, Nessie's a plesiosaur, right? Are plesiosaurs lizards or are they fish? I would Google it, but I'm a phobe. The last of So I don't want to see any pictures of anything underwater because I'll probably just die. My point is, we all know the popular spooks and urban legends from our beautiful states with waves of amber graves. Freudian slip. I meant waves of amber grains. So I hope to bring to you something you've never heard before. Oh my God, she's
dude, she said her own title. That's so crazy. Wow.
Since it's the first episode, I thought that we would start with my home state. The most sussy, the most skibbity. Ew. It's Ohio, okay? It's Ohio, and we are starting with the unfortunate tale of Eugene, the mummy man of Sabina, Ohio. Our tale today begins in the small, unassuming town of Sabina, the Eden of Ohio, or as the locals like to call it, Eden. I meant, they don't call it Eden. It's Sabina. It's called Sabina. They call it Sabina, generally. Freud's got me in a chokehold today. The Eden part is optional. So let's set the scene. It is a beautiful spring day in our fair city. Ew. The year is 1929, and it is June 9th. Or was it the 6th? Or did it happen on a day? It's really frustrating because most of the sources that I could find just said like a balmy spring day, estimated early June. Don't you like that word? Estimated. You'll find that to be a running theme. So I might suggest grabbing a little something to consume every time I say that word, estimated. You'll be 3 sheets by the end of this. It's just like, of course I try my best to be thorough, but this case has such poor documentation. I mean, even the man's gravestone has the wrong year on it. It's not funny. It's just ridiculous. But it's not surprising how historically, back in the 20s, back then, how missing and murdered POC cases were taken very seriously. I mean, that really only helps to muddy the facts with, you know, people's natural fascination with morbid curiosities and rumors, speculation gets added in, and then you have this case of a John Doe that quickly becomes an urban legend, you know? And it's hard to tell fact from the spectacular. You see, the passage of time doesn't help keep these facts intact either. But with that much time passing between the event taking place and what it's become now, I mean, it's nearly been 100 years, almost as long as this guy's dry spell. But the Boglum King that haunts Casper, Wyoming's local karaoke bars is another cryptid for another time. Now, luckily, I was able to put this part of the mystery to bed. It was, in fact, June 6th, because I found his death certificate. Update your blogs, people. No more estimating. Back to the story. June 6th, 1929. The breeze is breezing. The kids are outside scraping their knees and drinking out of the hose. Farmers are farming corn, probably. I don't know. All the locals are down at the diner having a slice of apple pie. Sounds like a perfect day. Until the town is shaken by news of a farmer working. Ew. Just kidding. They were shaken by what the farmer had seen. The body of a man laying in a ditch right off of Highway 3C. He saw it right from his tractor. So the police are called, arrive promptly to do some very, very thorough investigating. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued over 100-year-old John Doe. So the police check his body over. He is pronounced no longer living. They go through his pockets to find any sort of identification that they can, and nothing. There is nothing in his pockets. No wallet, no monies, no lint. There's only a scrap of paper with an address on it over an hour away, due south, okay? On the side of a highway with empty pockets. Suspicious? Not to the police. There was no evidence of foul play. So now the investigation is fully underway. John Doe is taken off to the Littleton Funeral Home where he is to be further forensicked, and the police are off on their only lead, the slip of paper in John Doe's pocket containing the address 118 Yale Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio. So with nothing to go on, the autopsy is underway. John Doe is now determined to be African American, 40 to 45 years old, which this is so funny because I was reading one blog that said that he was determined to be between 50 and 80 years old. It's not wrong, I guess. But as police suspected, allegedly, he had no marks that would indicate any violence. And he did, in fact, allegedly die of natural causes and was not robbed and on the side of a highway. So the coroner concludes that he was just wandering around, possibly in search of work opportunities. Signed, C.E. Rice, coroner. And sent it off. So now with the autopsy over, he is embalmed and placed on a concrete slab in this outbuilding where he is to lay for 30 days per Ohio law for anyone to come and look at him so that they can identify him. Simultaneously, the coroner's report was released, and wouldn't you know it, people all of a sudden are like, you know what? No, I was wrong before. I did see him. I think he was sick. He looked sick. He was like, he could hardly walk. You know what? No, I did see him applying for jobs, even though this is what I find to be suspicious. He was just coming into town. He was on the north side of town, and he was headed to Cincinnati, Ohio, which means he probably didn't even get into town. How'd y'all see him? But now I'm the one speculating, so I don't know. I guess the state fair wasn't until next month, so everybody was bored with nothing to do. They wanted in on the drama. So checking back in on our police, they arrive at the address on the slip of paper, 1118 Yale Avenue, and wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? Take a shot every time I say that, too. There's nothing there. It's an empty lot. There's nothing. Another dead end. Luckily, though, there is a neighbor on a nearby lot, so they go knock on his door. Hello, we're the police. Hello, I'm Eugene Johnson. I hate this. And they're like, hey, Eugene, do you know anything about this guy? He's like, no. So they get back in their car and they're like,
Darn, I thought we were really getting somewhere. Well, we found that one guy, Eugene. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we call the stiff Eugene so we don't go home empty-handed?
they go. And then they kiki and high five.
Good work.
So they go home, they nickname him Eugene, and it sticks. But now there is nothing to do except for wait out the 30 days and see if anyone can come forward and identify him. Like, imagine, God, if you're the neighbor and you just have an unidentified ongoing open case named after you just because you were around in the vicinity. Ew, gadzooks. That's a little side eye. Disrespectful. Now, unfortunately, the 30 days that the law required had gone by, but you're gonna love this. Word had really spread about Eugene, and so many people were coming to see him that the Littleton Funeral Home decided to keep him on display for longer in hopes that someone may eventually still be able to identify him if word continues spreading like this. And it doesn't help that he sure is driving tourism to this once sleepy little town. Eugene had become a full-blown roadside attraction. Before you know it, 17 years had blown by. It's 1947, and the Columbus Citizen magazine had contacted Littleton Funeral Home. Eugene had now become so famous that Mr. Littleton had told the Citizen magazine that there were over 56,000 names in his guest book. And Mr. Littleton also said that probably only 1 in 10 people bothered to write their names down. So he estimated that probably over 500,000 people had come to visit Eugene only in the 17 years that he had been on display. Citizen magazine also wanted to know how he was kept in such incredible condition. To this, Mr. Littleton said, "Oh, well, I don't even have him encased in anything on the slab. Just good air here in Sabina, and I just must have done a good job embalming. Come on down." He said, "People are dying to get in here." He did not say that. And he was in incredible condition. I'll put a picture up of him right now. So much so that many visitors had reported that he just looked like he was peacefully sleeping with a slight smile on his face. Judge for yourself. One even reporting that he had touched his cheek and expected him to move and scold him, but he did not move, and the flesh on his cheek felt like dry parchment. So, good job, Mr. Littleton, I guess. So moving on, Eugene would stay out for another close to 17 years and continue attracting tourists from all over the country at this point. But with the 60s approaching and the youngsters getting ever more bold, dastardous, and devious, and with Eugene's local legend status increasing, teens began vandalizing him, his resting spot, daring each other to stay in the room alone with him, 7 minutes of heaven style, except for fear factor. It's not funny. And also using him to play pranks. He often made appearances, I've read, on Halloween night, showing up on people's porches. Isn't that interesting? But like I said, it's 1964, and the Eugene era of Sabina, Ohio was coming to an end. This started because a group of college students came to take Eugene, who by this time had missing teeth and missing fingers, not of natural causes. They took him to the college campus, OSU, Ohio State University, propped him up on a bench right out front, and waited for all the students to come by to go to classes in the next morning and get a spook. The Littleton Funeral Home finally came to collect him. They said enough is enough. They gave him a small funeral and finally laid him to rest. Not without one final act of disrespect. As I said before, the date of death on his gravestone was the wrong year. To this day, Eugene is still a roadside attraction, but now people come to put little coins and trinkets on his grave and pay their respects. Rest in peace, Eugene, for real this time. And that is the story of Eugene, the mummy man of Sabina, Ohio. If you liked this video, please like this video. If you disliked this video, please like this video. If you liked me, please subscribe. And be sure to comment what state you would like to see me do next. Okay, bye!